And now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've all been waiting for. When is Aaron going to be speaking about that one whole year that he spent in jails and penitentiaries in the state of Arizona, in the good old US of A? Well, it's going to be a great story. In actual fact, I will write a book about it, and it will be one of the best books that's ever been written about prison, because it's going to be written in the classic Awake and Brave style of incorporating insight, philosophy, psychology, spirituality, all the facets of what it is to be a human being in an environment like that, with all of the crazy individuals that one would expect to meet and to share tiny cells with, locked up for 24 hours a day for months on end. Yes. And every time you're transported in chains on your ankles and on your wrists and around your waist, and you're treated like a fucking animal. You're treated like the worst possible criminal that's ever lived. Why? Because the American system has worked out that there are some crazy motherfuckers around, and we've experienced crazy motherfuckers. So we can't take any more chances. We have to treat everybody as if they're fucking crazy. So every single time you get transported, even if you're walking within the same prison, going from one block to, let's say, a court hearing, they put you in shackles for 100 meters. Anyway, people, I can speak about that. But it's going to take a long time, because it was one whole year and there were an enormous amount of revelations pertaining to that period of incarceration. I will not be speaking about why I was imprisoned, because that is going to be a whole different story. That story is pertaining to my relationship with a certain woman who is in actual fact a full-blown narcissist. And for those of you that have encountered full-blown narcissists and really know what I'm speaking about, then you will know what I was dealing with. And what narcissists can do shouldn't necessitate a life sentence in prison, because what they will do to a person over a period of years is destroy their soul. They will have them questioning their sanity. They will actually be possessed by a devil, which derives from the trauma which is delivered from the narcissist. It's a very, very disturbing thing to experience, people. And you know me, I'm no shrinking violet, and I'm as hard as fucking nails. But this woman got to me, and I was pretty well unawares of the effects of a narcissist, and I was beguiled, cheated, lied to, and ultimately gaslighted, which is the worst thing anyone could ever do to anyone. Gaslighting is pure evil trauma. It's the worst thing that anyone could ever experience. It's psychological torture, people, and they will do that without batting an eyelid, because they are, for the best part, psychopaths with no empathy at all. They're devoid of empathy. They take great relish of punishing their victims because of the inflictions or afflictions that they consider that they have received in their lives. And so they are highly intent on making certain select people suffer and pay the price somehow. Pay the price, because they fit somehow to this scenario or thing or person which they consider done them wrong. It's exceedingly complex, and if anyone's going to ever get their heads around it, then they would need to investigate narcissism, and there's plenty of quality people speaking about it on the internet at this moment in time. There's a guy called Sam Vatkin, and he reputedly has an IQ of 192, and he's a self-proclaimed narcissist, and he's got many videos about narcissism. Then there's another one called Richard Gannon. Richard Gannon is still suffering from the effects of his narcissist wife today. He's made many videos. Oh, for fuck's sake. The scourge of the human fucking world. Got to get rid of these combustion engines, people. They really have to go. Every fucking single one of them. Every combustion engine on this planet has to go. Why? Because they're an abomination. They're a fucking scourge. Every leaf blower, every fucking chainsaw, every steel saw, everything. Anything that screeches out and destroys the sanctity and the peace and beauty of the world has to go. So I'm all in agreement with that. So anyway, I'm getting to the point now, people. Speaking about, so that's a separate book. That has to be a book because it's so complex, it's so taxing. Even today, 3 years after the event, I'm struggling to broach that because I don't want to revisit the suffering, the visceral suffering, the mental suffering, and the anguish, and the incredible disappointment and disbelief that someone could do those things to you. So I'm going to need a little bit more time before I address that, but I will be addressing the prison. Now, any of you that mention this woman's name, your comments won't get through onto the site. Any of you even allude to her, my relationship to her, won't get through to the site. And I know you're all super inquisitive, and the vast majority of you people, I'll have to say, from reading all the comments that you've posted before, and you'll know where I mean, there was only, let's say, two people which were really on her side, really, venomous about what I'd supposed to have done. And that's remarkable, really, because all of you guys, and it's got to be 99% of you, I know many of you made comments when you didn't know what was going on, but the vast majority of you just had open minds about it, and lots of you said, oh, I saw that coming, or yeah, I can understand this or that, and I really appreciate that. And so many of you are back on the channel now, and the couple that were going hell for leather for my hanging, they're not on the channel, but one of them will be very soon, a completely self-converted man. So that only leaves one other person that used to be an avid viewer of my videos that to my knowledge hasn't come back, but for sure he's been back. He's still watching now under a different name. Anyway, people, it's going to take a lot of time, a lot of effort, and because I'm going to be speaking about it, then everything is going to be in the forefront of my mind. It's going to be possessing me. It will be a possession, and so therefore I will be compelled to write the book alongside me speaking about it. Writing the book costs money. I need to buy packages to be able to write the book, and ultimately I need publishing costs to write the book. And in view of the fact that so many people out there are just taking motherfuckers, then I'm not going to be doing that out of my own pocket. And so, for all of you guys and girls that are so desperately dying to hear the story of my incarceration, then you'll need to purchase the book. And there will need to be, and I know, look, there's 100 of you that have already bought the book. And if I'm going to go forward on this, then I will need to see a minimum of 50 more sales, let's say before Christmas. And then I'll start speaking about this subject in the new year. So you've got like 5 weeks, something like that. And it's a perfect time because you're all going to be spending money that you don't think you have, and you know, or how many of you, you're just waiting to get paid, or you're just waiting for this windfall, you're just waiting for your chip in China, to get his payoff for this, that and the other, and then you can afford £20 to buy my book. Goodness me, I pity you. I fucking pity you, I really do. You know, lots of you will be familiar with my conversations with Andre. And Andre is often saying that he can barely even afford to eat on the state benefit that he gets. And yet, he still bought the book. And he still manages to buy other books. And so it's doable, and it doesn't matter how impoverished you think you are. So, I will need the proceeds of the book sales to buy the packages I'm going to need to write the book and to do the publishing, because it has to be done, and it's just waiting to be done. And if you are going to be privy to this information before the book's out, you're not getting it for free, people. You're just not getting it for free. With the quality of storytelling that I possess, you're just not going to get that anywhere. And so for those of you that just can't see yourself to parting with £20, go fuck yourselves. Go fuck yourselves. So, and if some of you say, yeah, well, what if you only get 30 sales of the book? Well, you'll have bought a great book in any case. A Journey to the Self is a great book, and very, very easily worth £20. And so for those of you that can't see that, then I don't know what the fuck you're doing on my channel. I really don't. Spirit has brought you here for some fucking reason. And so Spirit knows that my videos are valuable, but you are still not evolved. Because if you were evolved, then you would have invested in that book a long fucking time ago. But as it happens, you know, to be fair, there's at least a third of you that have done. 100 people, when I only get, like, let's say 300 videos, hits maximum on my videos, then a third is a very, very good rate. But you'll need to do better. All of those that haven't bought the book, you'll need to do it. And like I say, if I don't meet those numbers, I will need to get 50. Because 50 book sales, people, is only going to return me £250. And that's going to buy a couple of packages that I'll need to write the fucking book. It won't even begin to cover the publishing costs. And the last book, Closer to God, that cost £500 just for the publishing. And then I had to spend another £300 on the packages that I need to write. And editing, all that sort of stuff, because I do all my own editing. And I self-publish on Amazon. But last time I used a company because I'm just not familiar with all this technical stuff. But now I've learned that I can get the publishing done on Fiverr for a fraction of the cost. Because I know how to deliver the full version of everything that Amazon need, and all this person on Fiverr needs to do is to upload it onto Amazon, just to make sure that the text size and borders are what Amazon stipulate, just to make sure that the pixelation on the book cover is at the right ratio and all that sort of thing, which I don't want to get involved in. So there you have it, people. If you want the story of my incarceration in American jails, I went to 7 institutions. I was 4.5 months in county jail. Then I was 19 days in a absolute living hell of a holding centre called El Hambre, and that is one hell of a story just on its own. Then I was 1 day in immigration. Then I was 2 days in another random prison along the way. Then I was 6 months in like a prisoner of war camp in the Arizona desert. And then, because of my deportation, I was a further 6 weeks in what was like a county jail, but it was run by ICE, Immigration Customs Excise. So that I think that's what it stands for, Immigration Customs Excise. Yeah, I think so. And that particular wing dealt with all the deportation. So I was among mostly Mexican, lots of like Puerto Ricans, all different sorts of creeds. In actual fact, it was about let's say absolutely no more than 10% white in this immigration holding centre, and another living hell. And the prison I was in the Arizona desert, that was like about 15% white, 15% black, and 70% Mexican, or other sort of creeds from around the world. So being in these places where the white man is a very small minority, it's quite something, people, quite something. And then, of course, you've got all that cultural difference. And in America, these cultures don't mix. In actual fact, in the vast majority of prisons, they are segregated. The whites and the blacks and the Mexicans, and they just don't mix at all. But the prison I was in, it was kind of like it was a new idea, which we in Britain have been doing for a long, long time. It's kind of like an open prison where everybody mixes with everybody. And it was kind of like it filtered down a little bit, but still, you mostly you got your Mexicans which don't mix, and the black guys have got this brother thing going on, but they do mix more. And I had lots of black guys as friends. I never had a single paisa, which is a national born Mexican. They're called paisa, which means foreigner, I think, in their language. But I did have relationships with a few Mexican Americans who were born in America, because they've got a whole different outlook on life. But the Mexicans which were born in Mexico, they're all very, very cliquey, and they evidently don't like the white man nor the black man. And to be quite frank, they're a despicable race of fucking vermin, drug dealing fucking motherfuckers. So anyway, people, I dealt with a lot of stuff, and I'm not going to be divulging this lightly. It's going to take a lot of time, a lot of effort. I'm going to have to do it sequentially. I'm going to have to do it very, very thoroughly. That's my nature of being, OCD to a degree. I'm thorough in what I do. And so if you want that story, then you best start buying the book. And as I've said, there's no better time to buy it now, because you're going to be throwing money away on a whole pile of shit that no fucker wants in any case. You're going to be buying excess food that you don't fucking want. You're going to be eating dumb fuck Christmas pie, and you're going to be eating dumb fuck fucking dry ass turkey and all this shit. And by the time Christmas is over, you're going to be flat fucking broke again. So you may as well at least have a decent fucking book which you can cry over in your poverty, and some of that stuff might inspire you to be a real fucking human being, stand on your own 2 feet and go and make something of yourself. So there you have it. You'll do whatever you want to do, and I'll say no more about it unless the book sales come in. If the book sales don't come in this next 5 weeks, then at some stage I'll write the book and I'll just bang that out there. But the book will have to have an inflated price because of all the money that I would have had to have put into it. And so that's just how it is, people.